Yes, sir.
You talked when you first started talking about Equano.
Equiano, yes.
Equiano. And about African history, you know, being about poetry. And
Right,
music.
right.
What can you find a good site about the old griots from African storytellers?
You know, what's interesting on this site as well is great information about the griots and African storytelling tradition. If you all are familiar in Mali, really they were historians, really. The griots were historians, but they told the history through story and through music. Through oral history, right. So they kept this, and they would tell you your history of a particular family through music or through storytelling. And there's a tradition that dates back to that called the griot, and it's in Mali, and actually you can find information on this site right here about that. Any others before I end my turn? Well, thank you all very much.
Let's take 5 minutes.
The Mount Vernon Teachers Institute, which is pretty much the entire summer. And at that institute, not only do you see, you know, and have a chance to really experience some of the renowned scholars on Washington, but they treat you like what? I mean, you stay at the Mount Vernon Ladies Association, they ply you with food and drink. I mean, it's the kind of way that teachers should be treated when they go on a professional development initiative. So you really should check out many of those to see what you might be able to do to provide a little time for yourself, because it's a welcome. It's a lot of work, I will say, but it's a welcome respite work kind of experience. If you haven't done it, it really is great. So what I want to do to take a moment, because again, I understand that it's always you receive so much content, and trying to take that content and find useful ways to do it is not always easy. I know me, I go to great you know, seminars and things like that, and I get really excited. I go home and I put it down, and it gets buried under the other stuff, and I don't find it again until like a year later and go, gosh, he was so great. I should have used this. So I want to see if you all don't mind doing an activity with me this morning. We have what, 30 people in here? So look, the website I showed you about the migration, the Great Migration from the Schomburg, and I work for, my museum and library is called the Mamie A. Clayton Library Museum. It's a collection that is actually considered to be the largest collection of African American history and culture privately held west of the Mississippi. The woman who started was a woman by the name of Dr. Mamie A. Clayton. She was a law librarian at UCLA, but she grew up in Van Buren, Arkansas. And when she was a young girl in school, she said that she went to her school library and she wanted to find out something about African American history and culture. And her school library at the time was a shelf of 4 shelves of books, and she couldn't find anything on that shelf about African Americans. And so from that point on, she said her desire was to collect African American history and culture. So we have one of the largest collections of pre-1954 films by and about Black people. We have an original copy of Birth of a Nation. We have Oscar Michaud, and before there was a Tyler Perry, there was Oscar Michaud, an African American independent maker. His response to Birth of a Nation, we have original copies of that. I mean, we go on and on. Silent films. We have letters, manuscripts. We have about 20,000 books, about 20,000 records, sound recordings. This woman just amassed this wonderful collection of African American history and culture that she had in her garage for many years. And she set up her garage as a library, and people would come from all around the country to use her collection because we have an original signed copy of Phyllis Wheatley's Book of Poems. It's probably one of 4 that are found. So it's a pretty fascinating collection. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to take that collection right now and put it online, digitize it in many ways so you can see both the original copies of what we have and also to see a transcribed copy. So on this website, the Schomburg has done is that they've taken and put together a lesson about primary documents and how students can go in and find out how migrants or people in the Great Migration, particularly African Americans from the South, why they decided to go, what they were looking for, and how the migration was like for them. So they have a whole section on here of letters between 1916 and 1918, where you can go in and read these various letters. So if you're just looking for all Mississippi, you can type in Mississippi in the search this text, and you can find who wrote Letters to Mississippi. I just put some of the first one we have, you know, New Orleans, Anderson, Alabama, because I want to do a little activity to show how we might be able to do this. So we have, I want to do groups, but I know high schoolers don't work well in groups, right?
Well, it depends. That depends on the instructor.
It depends on the instructor.
Depends on how they have the concept.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see if I'm a good instructor. All right. So how about these two tables here are going to be one group, and okay, and those two tables are one group, and these two are one group, and these two. Now I know some of you are doing like your students saying, "Gee, well, I'm not gonna be with these people and be in a group with them." I know you're saying that, right? But that's all right. So here's what we're going to do. I have 4 groups, right? I tried to pick 4 that I can get. Let me see. I think I have 4. Okay. Well, we'll do it this way. We don't have 4. We'll use 2. Okay. So let me scroll down a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up 2 letters here. Let's see if I can get them both on the screen. It's not working. I'm going to try to do it. The first one is you see from you see the one that says above Anderson, Alabama. Dear sir, I read. You see that? Okay. Can everybody see this? Okay. All right. So everybody can see this. Okay. Good. So I want this first group. This first group right here. I want you to read this. This one right here is a very short one. This group, I want you to read the long one. I'll scroll down for you. And the back group, can you guys see back there? I mean, it's kind of small. I don't think I can see. Okay, I tell you what. Then I tell you what. You'll read it for them. How about that? We'll just do 2. How about that? We'll do 2. We'll do 2 sides. Instead of 4 groups, we'll do 2 letters. One on one side of the room, and then we're going to take about a few minutes for you guys to discuss it yourself. So who can first read this one right here?
Dear sir, I read a piece in the defendant about the member come north. I shall be very glad to come in touch with you as I'm planning on coming north, and I write you that you might know of some good town in that session. I am a carpenter by trade, and I would like for you to locate in me, as I should not like to come in that section without no information.
All right, very good. All right, you did good at reading that. Okay, so this side right here, I want to tell you a little bit. Does everybody know what the Defender is? The Chicago Defender was a black newspaper that was published nationally and circulated. And so he's saying that he read a piece. You see the language, right?
I do.
In the Chicago Defender, and he's thinking about going north. All right, and he wants some help. So what I'd like for this side to do, and then you got to talk among yourselves, we're going to take a few minutes to do this. I want you, first of all, do we have a name for him? Do we have a name? You don't see a name? Yeah. Okay. I want you to give him a name. Can you do that for me? Can you tell me how he might learn how to be a carpenter? You said he's a carpenter, right?
No.
Can you tell me if he's going to go to Chicago, first of all, do you know how much money it will cost to get there? So what I simply want you all to do is to build a character sketch for this person. Who is he? And tell me what he'll need to take on his trip if he's going to go to Chicago. Right? Can you guys do that? I mean, it's pretty open-ended. I'm not going to give you all to it, but because you're so sophisticated, I think you can get it. I want to know about his education level. I want to know if he has family. Are they going to be left behind? Because there's another letter that tells us about this person on the end. So, can you guys do that? Don't do it all at once now. All right? All right, this side of the room. Okay. I want you all to read right here where it says, gentlemen. Can somebody read that for me who can see it?
Gentlemen, upon reading the New York Age, have seen where there are need of importance and some sugar concern in New York. Kindly answer this letter and tell me the nature of the work. As I am from the South, and it is average difficulty for a southerner to endure the cold without being climatized. It is possible for you to get any other job from me regardless to its nature, just since the work is indoor. I appreciate the same, as it is understood the times in the South is very hard and one can scarcely live. Kindly take the minutes into consideration.